Hi, welcome to my channel. Uh, Today is March 3rd, and I am so excited. I always get excited, well, not always, most often I get excited at the beginning of the month because there's a new bingo card, and that always inspires me and gets my creative juices flowing. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on. Uh, I want to take time to say thank you to all my subscribers who have been with me and love me a long time. I do appreciate you. And a special thanks to my new subscribers. Uh, Jane from Scraptastic Yarn subscribed, and that got me all excited because I've been watching her and enjoying her for a long time, and she shouted me out today. Oh, I'm so happy. And I got 3 new subscribers just this morning. Uh, and I'm just over the moon. This week I've caught a couple lives, and I've added a bunch of new subscriptions myself of smaller channels, and I've been thoroughly enjoying getting to know people. That's what I wanted, was to get involved in the YouTube yarn community since I lost my sewing seeds. I don't have that camaraderie anymore, so you guys are my new granny gang. Even if you're not a granny, I still appreciate you. Let's get into the good stuff. I have a couple projects. Wouldn't you know, I forgot to grab one. Hold on just a minute. It's all the way back here. You can see it right there. Oh, am I going to be able to get to it? I should have done it. My dog bed was in the way. Oh, no ball. Caught it. Sorry about that, guys. That's why it was so hard, because I forgot there was a bag behind me. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But isn't this the cutest thing? There you go. It's my granddaughter's unicorn hat. Look at those 3 little flowers. There was some bald spots right there from where these were in the front and these were in the back. So I put 3 flowers. She's already seen it and she loves it. She's just tickled pink, and I love to see that child smile. And I got one more project that isn't a March bingo. There was I got some show notes actually this time. The Ugly Hat by Runaway Needle Red. She'd made a hat and it was ugly, so she put out a challenge to make an ugly hat. So I went and I used the same pattern she used and made this. I think it's the fault more so because I love scraps. So I thought I'd be in love with this, but I'm not. I think if I did it in the future, I would use a smaller hook size to do the brim, because you see it flares when that's not what it's supposed to pull in. What this stitch is supposed to pull in, but it didn't. I think I thought the camel stitch, although I do enjoy the camel stitch, this is just too much of it. And it pulled the hat in. I can't even get this sucker on. And the ball band fit me perfectly, but this part, it won't go. So I doubt I'm going to give that away. I'll probably just put it in my drawer of hats I've got here at home that the grandkids will grab a hat when it's cold. I just can't, unless I find somebody specific that would enjoy that. That band just messed up. Well, anyway, on to, excuse me, yarn bingo. I've already got a bunch filled in. In fact, I've almost got a couple bingos. I just got one. No, there's two in that one. Anyway, first was make something aquamarine. And I looked up aquamarine because I'm not familiar with it. And it's a light blue. So I made one of my light blue beanies. Colors are better out here. Let me see. Turn that off. I'm a little bit darker, but you can see my project's a little bit better from the, because we got sun today in North Carolina. I'm so happy, at least in my part of it. That's a light blue. This pattern is my half double crochet simple beanie. I've got a tutorial for it if you're interested. And then there was create a crocheted bag. I went to Jada Stitches and I found one of her mini bags, and I thought, well, that's something I could put in my grandkids' room. So I used up my bulky scraps. That was one of my goals this year, was to use up that bag of bulky scraps. So that's bingo. Create something from a YouTube channel. So I created another bag. This was also from Jada and Stitches. Now this one isn't as beautifully rounded as that other one, but again, I'm really proud of myself because let me show you. I had this. It was one of those large bags from Aldi's. This was, I couldn't even close it, it was so full. And I used them all. This yarn here was gifted to me. It seems, my first impression of this yarn is that somebody tried dyeing it and didn't rinse it out all the way because it's a little bit crunchy. And I absolutely hate it, and I wanted to get rid of it. And this isn't clothing, so this is a perfectly good use for them. Now, both of my grandkids have a basket to put their stuff in. I thought they could put their chargers and stuff like that in those bags. And then I'm already grabbing one, and I haven't even got to it. Save your yarn wrappers from your project and see how much yarn you went through in the March or February. Well, one of my goals, I don't know if I ever said it, but I wanted to save all my yarn wrappers so I could see how much I've done in a year. So that fits right along in what I'm doing. I've already put them in a drawer, so I don't even have them out. And then create something with spring colors. It's light pink, half double crochet, simple hat. And then there's free space there. Then share an idea for April. I suggested 5 different things for the month of April, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And then share a pattern for Easter. I shared a pattern from Jada. It's a little bunny bag. It is the cutest thing. I made one for my niece one year for Easter, and she just absolutely adored it. Oh yeah. Now I didn't even see that on here, and I done put the thing up. Let me look again. Somewhere on here is there it is. I totally missed it. It's crochet a bag. Jada and Stitches, you know how much I love her. This is the rest of the scraps in that bag. This is just a market bag. It's got that crunchy yarn in it. I had several small balls. Well, they weren't small. Well, anyway, you can see how they were. So I used them all up. This is going to stay with me. It's just a market bag, so it's not going to matter that it's a little bit crunchy. I'm hoping that'll solve itself when, let me turn my light back on. There we go. Now that, I forgot what I was going to say. Getting old is not for the weak. It's oh, my memory. Anyway, something I got from the Dollar Tree were these little heart stickers. I'm going to use that to mark off my bingos. Now, something else I've been working on is for a while now I've been thinking about opening an Etsy shop or selling something somewhere, whether it's Etsy or somewhere else. So I've decided to make ear protectors. This one, let me turn around right, it has little S's on it. Well, they look backwards to me, but I assure you they are on there correctly. This is an ear protector. It goes on the back of your head, and then you take your mask and slip it around the buttons to hold it on there so they aren't rubbing up against your ears. They're good for people who have to wear masks all day. And I've got a bunch of different colors made. Now, most of these I made with acrylic yarn instead of cotton, but I did put some crochet cotton in with them. Oh, here's one of my absolute favorite ones. I've got this multicolored ball of crochet cotton, and I put it in with black. Isn't that just adorable? Now, these long strings are to sew the buttons on. That's absolutely adorable. I'm going to use a few, but not many, of the buttons I got at Walmart, because most of those buttons I want to save for Twittermas. But I did get some, that's hard, a bunch of these, it's wooden buttons, but they've got designs painted on the front of them, and I think they're interesting. See? There's a bunch of different ones. Whoops. Anyway, they're real pretty. And then I just got some plain 20mm black buttons. I figured these would be the most popular and gender neutral. Those fancy buttons will probably be by request. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the bingo card. Robin's Flying Crochet is the lady that she has a YouTube channel. She's the one putting out the cards, and on this month she had some things on her mind, to where she made a couple small mistakes on the card, and like there's something with spring colors is on here twice. I may take a creative license with one of those. And then there's create something from St. Patrick's Day and create something with shamrocks. To me that's oh my back. I'm sorry. To me that's twice. I may take creative license for those, like something for St. Patrick's Day. I may just make a green hat and call that a square. And then there's another one on here where I remember seeing the post that was suggested it, and Robin turned it around. It was supposed to be make something in cotton that is not for the kitchen. Well, Robin put it on here as create something for the kitchen that is not made of cotton, and it was opposite. So I will I'm going to make something with cotton that's not for the kitchen, as the original post suggested. But anyway, Robin, thank you so much for doing these. I know after a while you kind of run out of ideas, and I got your back, girl. I'm going to try suggesting at least 5 things that you can put on cards. I want to help you out on that, because I do appreciate you and I want to support you. I don't remember what all I suggested for this month, I wanted to do some, for next month, for April. I wanted to do some more Easter things, but I'm a day late and a dollar short because April's early in the month, so we don't want to be doing. April's early in the month. This whole month. Easter is early in the month, and we don't want to be doing Easter stuff after Easter's over. So I took out those suggestions and put 2 more in. And I've already got ideas. Are they in here? I've already got ideas for a couple of months. I'm looking in the book right quick. Well, I could have swore they were in here, but they may... No, here they are. They're a little bit... Okay, for April, I make something or use the same color as the hook or needle you were making. Like this is a mint needle, so I'd have to use a mint color. I thought that would be something interesting. Finish your oldest whip. Y'all, you need to get that done. Either get it done or frog it. You need to part ways from it. April showers bring May flowers, so I suggest you make a flower. And the reason for that is because I got to thinking, and Llama Mama Kayla used to make a wreath quite a lot. So I want to suggest that for May. And personally, it's something I've been wanting to do for years, is to make a bunch of flowers, crochet flowers, and put them on a wreath. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you're going to be making some flowers, go ahead and make a few and put them on a wreath. You doesn't have to be all flowers like mine. You can put other things on there, but a few flowers for spring. And then another suggestion is a bowl cozy. A bowl cozy. Sometimes my southern accent gets in the way. But anyway, what that is normally they're made of cotton, and you put your bowl in them. That way, if you've got like some soup or a hot dish in there where the bowl's just too hot to handle, that bowl cozy will keep it from burning your hands. And also, if it's made of cotton, it can go in the microwave. I wouldn't suggest doing it. I wouldn't do it, but it can. That way, when you grab it out, it's not hot. And then I'm not going to go over everything I've got May. I got a couple for even June and July. I'm thinking ahead here, or trying to anyway. I'm not good at thinking, but I do try. Anywho, do I have some more stuff? Now I lost my place where I had, there it is. Blue pink bag. Honey. Okay, now this is my whips. There was a suggestion from Sarah, because one of the squares for this past month, or for this month, well, share pattern for Easter, yeah, because I shared the bunny bag. Well, she shared a pattern for a little bunny by left-handed crochet.com. So I've got that. That's the body and that's the head. Now this pattern is not one that I would recommend for somebody new to amigurumi. I made a couple changes. One thing she does is, instead of going in rounds, she connects, which I've had patterns do that, but she doesn't go in one direction. She goes one direction and she changes and turns to the other direction. I didn't do that because I don't like the look of that. It's very textured stitch, and I didn't want a textured bunny, so I didn't do that, and the pattern worked up fine. At the beginning, her first 2 rows are different from the norm, in the round constructions. I didn't mind that. I went with it, and it worked out. And then, but the last thing, the reason why I won't recommend this pattern for new crocheters, or new people new to amigurumi, is because at the end she tells you sew this part to this part and this and that. She tells you what to sew together, but not exactly how she did it. And it just left me wondering, well, where do I sew it to on this part? You know, I'm gonna have to take time and really look at her picture to try to figure that out. But that's the only reason I wouldn't recommend the pattern, is because I'm old. I don't need to be confused. Hold on a minute, that's Pawpaw. I'm back. That was Pawpaw. He's a handyman, and he does a lot of work for disabled. That's his specialty, is doing work for disabled people. He's real good to them, and they love him to death. And today he's with one of his blind friends, and he took him shopping. So he called me to see if I needed anything. He could be so sweet, and I just love him to death. And other times I just want to kill him. But most of the time I just love him to death. I should have wrote the rest of the stuff down, because now that I'm here recording, I completely forget what all I was wanting to talk about. Did I mention that I mentioned I'd done some lives and subscribed to some new people. There were 3 people subscribed to me today, just from Jane. Thank you, ladies, for giving me a chance, and I hope all my new subscribers will stick around with me and let me get to know you. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to mention to some of my old subscribers. If you're still watching, I know you're still subscribed, but if you're still watching, specifically a couple of my children who I know are subscribed. I didn't know this, but YouTube has a privacy filter where nobody can see who you're subscribed to. Like if you join a channel, they'll get a notification that they got a new subscriber, but they won't say who it is. And this can be, especially if there's giveaways, you know, that can be frustrating. But if they're giveaways, if you win it, you can't get it because they can't tell that you're subscribed. So what you do is you go to your settings and go to privacy, and then there's a little button you can click for make your subscriptions public. I don't really think, unless you're hiding something, there's no reason why you shouldn't go ahead and click that over, so people that you're subscribed to can see that you're subscribed and they can appreciate you. But thank you to the ones who already have that public. It just tickled me pink to see names pop up there. There was something else, especially my son. I got to talk to him this week, and I thoroughly enjoyed giving him a chat again. I got him a gift certificate for Christmas, and because I know what he likes, but he really enjoys Taco Bell. So that's what I got him, is Taco Bell gift certificate, or gift card. And he texted me to let me know that he used it this week, and as usual, he enjoyed it. Getting old. It's not for the weak. I'm going to start taking better show notes, because I come up with all kinds of good stuff through the week I want to talk about, and then when I go to press record, I just plumb forget. Well, anyway, all the projects that I had, like all Jada's, and then the one from Left-Handed Crocheter, I'll link in the description box so you can check them out if you want to. I won't be putting mine down in there because you can just look at my playlist. I just got a few, I've got it separated into my vlogs and my tutorials, and I've only got a few tutorials, so it's really easy to find. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to discuss, and I wanted to do that at the beginning, and I completely forgot. I was just plumb, you know what that means? I was excited, and my mind was just spinning because of the shout out from Jane and the 3 new subscribers, so I completely forgot, and that took up the first part of the video. Uh-oh. I forgot what it was again. Okay, now I remember again. Thank you, Lord. I decided to change my Instagram because of going through the live. I realized how hard I was. Whoops. I gotta lean back. My tailbone was injured several times years ago, and I've had trouble out of it since. And then my neck problems are just easier on my back when I lean back instead of sitting straight up. That I just can't sit straight up for too long. Well, anyway, I decided that I was going to change my profile picture to on Instagram. This isn't Instagram, it's YouTube. I changed my profile picture on YouTube to match the ones I use on Bingo on Facebook. And then on Instagram, I changed that picture to match. So all 3 pictures are the same. And I changed my name from Lucky to Be a Lady, which I've used for years on Instagram. And I changed it to Gabbing. So I'm easier to find all across the places. So if I make a post on Yarn Bingo, you'll know it's me by the picture. And yeah, I want to get more involved in the YouTube community. I found one that's from North Carolina, and she's got the cutest name. It's I think it's Hook Needle and Squirrels with Granny D. A lot of people know who Granny D is, and funny enough, Donna, I'm a Granny D too. But she's the cutest thing, and I have enjoyed. I met her in another lady, Nancy's. I can't remember either name now, but there's a Nancy that has a lot of lives, and I finally caught one of her lives, and I met Granny D in there, and a couple other people that I subscribe to from there. Anyway, I just thoroughly enjoyed getting those lives in, and during Granny D's live, I was busy eating, so I didn't chat much in there, but I did get to see it, and I enjoyed it, and I want to do that more often. I want to get to know my fellow YouTubers and Yarny friends, and I'm enjoying that. Well, anyway, I go too much in my videos. I know. I'll work on that. But anyway, you guys take care of one another, love each other, and be kind, because it's never a bad thing to be nice to somebody. You guys take care, stay crafty, and I still got my coffee, 1 cup of coffee a day. I got tickled at Jane. Oh, that reminds me, Jane, actually from Scraptastic Yarns, she actually commented on my video and took a guess at what I'm making. I didn't show it because I haven't really done any more on it. I've just pinned stuff to it. So you might be able to tell a little bit better. It looks more like a gremlin than what I'm intending. It's not a narwhal. It's going to be a unicorn. It's just not going to have any feet. I didn't even think about doing a tail for it. But that's something I've been busy doing all week. Is most of this stuff was, with the exception of the hat, the ugly hat and the unicorn hat, all this stuff was done just since March. But I still have a bag. I've been working all week making unicorn hair. I made 2 of everything. Well, there may be a few more on the hat than I've got in here for the unicorn, big unicorn. But I'll make some more for that. But those little things, they work up fairly quick. But the sheer volume I was having to make, because I was also making them for twiddle muffs, because they're fun to mess with. And I've still got a bunch to make, because I only got a few for twiddle muffs. And oh, that's something else I could show you. Is I put the twiddle muffs up, and then I couldn't remember where I put them. So I only had 2. I made like 6 or 7 this year, and I only had 2. But I found the others. They were in a bag. They were just back in behind something. So I found them, and I'm really happy about that, because there was a bunch of them that were just, I just used magic balls, so there was actually nothing on them. Although they were interesting visually, they didn't have anything to keep the fingers busy. And I got all those buttons and stuff, and I want to sew some stuff on there. And then I found this bag that has hexagons in it. I've got all sorts of different colors. I don't even remember what needle I used or what they were for, but I figured I could sew some of those, maybe make pockets out of them. That way I could use that because Wonderlust Crochet, I think it's Wonderlust Crochet, it's Wonderlust something. She's a truck driver, and she makes videos with her trusty pupper dog, and she's got this thing she's doing called Scorched Earth, and there's a bunch of other YouTubers doing that too. Even Jane, I just saw her Scorched Earth video. Oh, the yarn! I'm about hyperventilated. There's so much yarn, and I can understand why she's stressed, because that's just the part she wants to get rid of, not the rest of her stash. Well, my stash, although it's a fair amount, this shelf has some scraps in it. This shelf, that was full, but it's almost empty now. And then I've got my Simply Soft up here. That's just amigurumis and toys. But this over here, that's a bookcase that's got some yarn in it that I want to use up. I want to use up, I used up the scraps, but I want to use up my bulky yarn. I don't care for bulky yarn, really. So, even though it's pretty as all get out, I want to use it up and get out of the house. I also, when I cleaned up my craft room, found a bunch of baby yarn. Oh, my hair's a mess today. You'd think I would have brushed it better. Anyway, I found a bunch of baby yarn that's not necessarily baby colors. Like one of them was yellow. Yellow and orange are not my favorite colors. But anyway, I want to use up some of that. And plans for bingo. I've got a blanket I'm going to be working on. Either I'll work on it or frog it. I've got to decide which for my movies and Stitch. That'll be my blanket one. I'm thinking about starting the Jada and Stitch's Mile a Minute Afghan that she's doing this year, because that's a year-long project, and that's going to be on our card all year, and I want another bingo. And I need to make a blanket for hair. I've got a fan on because I'm hot all the time. My husband says I freeze him out of the house, so I just let the house be the temperature he likes it, well, a little bit lower than he likes it, and then I turn my fan on. I need to make a blanket for both my, it's my daughter's godchildren that she's helping to raise, and I call them my grandkids. They're the 2 youngest of my grandchildren. I want to make both of them a blanket this year, because I made the other 5 in the other family blankets for last year for Christmas. So I want to do them the same. They're sweet kids, and yeah. Oh, I was gonna. Well, I moved it. It was right down there. I've got um making granny squares because I want to use up. Now I'm fine. I've used up a bunch of my. These are worsted scraps. I used up a bunch of those, but I use worsted scraps all the time, but it's my sport weight scraps and my bulky scraps that I wasn't using, so I wanted to completely use them up. I only have a couple of those, but it'll probably make more using up the bulky yarn. But I'm making a granny squares out of my sport weight yarn, and I thought that I could use that as my blanket, but I don't really work on it all the time because I'm just using scraps. But I'm going to be making more scraps using up the other yarn. Well, anyway, that's my version of scorched earth, is to use up those kind of yarns. I use my worsted most often, so I'm not going to try to use it up because I no longer have the funds to buy anymore. So I'm just going to use it as I come across projects I want to make. You know, maybe the Lord will provide some yarn later on. You never know. Lord takes such good care of me, so I'm not as worried as what I should be. Because of my son leaving, I'd come to depend upon the money he paid as his part of the rent. But that's one reason I'm thinking about opening the shop, is that might be one reason one way the Lord provides a little bit of extra income, because although it'd be a really, really tight squeeze, we can get the bills paid, but I won't have any extra. Like, I won't be able to go out to eat, and there's a couple places that I really enjoy eating at. Like, there's a Chinese restaurant in town. Whoa, I'm going way too long. Well, anyway, I'm gonna, and I already said goodbye, take you, and here I am still yapping. I don't do that often, but I did it today. There's just so much I wanted to talk about. You guys stay safe and stay inspired and stay kind. But see you next time.